Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful Muscle Podcast with my co-host Jody. How you doing?
Welcome. Gio and I are two individuals who went on our own health and wellness journeys and have collectively lost and maintained a 145-pound weight loss. And we're here to show others, especially those just starting out on their health and wellness journeys, that sustainable change is possible and you are worth the effort. So be sure to like and subscribe to Mindful Muscle Podcast today.
Yes, thank you for that, Jody. Last time we had an episode that was published, we spoke about a preview that we were going to talk about your son and the fact that he's getting into fitness. And there are
Mhm.
some cautions that you want to have with him. Let the audience know what are some of those things that you want to prepare him for as he launches into his fitness journey.
With my kids, I have a almost 15-year-old and a 12-year-old. Fitness is not new to them because during the pandemic, I was working out at home. I used to drag them to a group fitness class because I didn't want fitness to be a stranger to them, but I didn't want to force them to do it. I just wanted to lead by example. My son Alex, right around the time of my husband's accident, maybe back in June, asked about working out and getting into a routine, and he wanted my help. I didn't mind giving him a plan, but he also had this intention of working out before school. So, lo and behold, there are now two Fitbod app subscribers in our house. He
Mhm,
has his own subscription because I wanted him to have the ability to do it on his own. I'm not around
mhm,
early in the mornings when he was originally intending to work out. Believe it or not, you can have a subscription to Fitbod as young as 13 years old. So that's the route I went with him. He's also been asking me a lot of questions lately in regards to nutrition. That is what I'm most cautious about when I have these conversations with him because there's a lot of nonsense on social
mhm,
media. I remember a few months ago, he was watching some TikToker that was like, "This is how many calories are in this crumble cookie, and this is how much cardio you have to do to burn it off." And I had to explain that that's not how it works. You burn calories just by existing. Nobody's eating crumble cake all day, every day.
mhm,
That would be expensive. You would feel like crap. We're not teaching this mentality that if you eat something low nutrient dense, that you have to burn it off.
mhm,
Disordered eating behavior just running rampant on TikTok and social
mhm.
media. So I'm very cautious with how I word things with him with nutrition.
When I used to work in the finance world, there's that talk that a lot of people who earn a decent amount of money try to out earn their stupidity. And they think because they make a lot of money, they can just spend willy nilly. Sometimes, as you were pointing out in that TikTok video, people think if I just run an extra 5 miles, then I can eat whatever I want over the weekend. And then they realize, oh, I'm still gaining weight. Well, yes, because you can't eat with impunity. And a lot of these trackers, I'm a big fan of the Apple Watch, but a lot of these trackers, they're consistent, but they're consistently wrong. You can use it as a trend, but not to eat the calories you burn because that's a recipe for disaster. Going back to your son, though, what's his goal working out? Does he have something in mind or is he just doing it for general health?
He wants to get stronger. He says, "Mom, how long is it gonna take before I see a difference in my chest?" And I'm like, "It's gonna take a while, and if you're not taking pictures of your progress, it's gonna take a while." And I've gotten questions like, "Mom, how long is it gonna take for me to get to your level?" I'm like, "What do you mean by my
Mhm,
level?" And he's like, "Oh, pull-ups. I wanna be able to do pull-ups." I'm like,
mhm,
"Dude, I started in my mid to late 30s. You're
mhm.
about to turn 15. As long as you stay consistent," and he's been rocking it out, working out
Good.
at least 4 times a week. I'm like, "You are gonna get there before you know it." And he's like, "Well, are you
Mhm.
gonna be upset if I can do things earlier in life than you?" I'm like, "No, that means I did my job as a
Yeah.
parent. I don't want you
Mhm,
to repeat my mistakes. I
mhm.
will be your biggest fan. I might have an issue if he joins CrossFit and beats me in the workout of the day, but I'll get over it and be proud."
Yeah. Yeah, I started late, obviously at 47, and I could barely do one pull up. Took me about 8 months to get to 8 plus pull ups. So as a 15-year-old, plus I had a lot of excess weight, which he didn't. He should be able to get that soon enough. Tell him enjoy the ride, because I
Mhm.
wish I would have started lifting weights and being responsible that way at his age, because obviously your
Mhm.
body adapts. And not only does he have several things going for him, he's young, 15. Not only that, he's still maturing. He's going to make gains just from the simple fact that he's maturing and getting more of a man. Know what I mean? With all the full blown testosterone and all that. So power to him. And I'm glad he's being
Yeah.
consistent. Go ahead.
He is being very consistent, and it's blowing my mind because I was expecting him to be this irresponsible teenager. It's not just this aspect of his life. I've seen a lot of growth in other areas. So I don't know if it's related to working out or if it's just him stepping into the person he's meant to be. But I'm
Well,
incredibly proud of him.
well, you and I have said that the discipline we've garnered from our fitness journey has bled into other aspects. So perhaps that's what we're seeing. I'm glad you brought up the consistency of him doing it 4 times a week, because I have a 10-year-old who tells me all the time she wants to work out. She'll go 2 weeks and do exercise, and then she'll forget about it. And I don't push her. At some point, it's going to click for her, and then she'll work
Mhm.
out consistently. She's doing it though for the wrong reasons. She's competitive and she didn't like that a boy beat her in pull-ups. She needs to get that internal motivation, which your son seems to have at the moment. Does he have, I know, is this the same son who one time said something to you about not wanting to get fat because of eating because he
Mhm.
overheard something on Thanksgiving? How's that going with him?
Well, it's still a work in progress. Some of the conversations we've had is he's asked how many calories he should be eating. I
Mm.
explained to him what a TDEE calculator is.
Oh, yes.
I'm remembering that episode we did where your friend Tony sent us that question with his
Yeah.
son. And I explained to him that you are 14, your caloric needs are changing and evolving constantly. You are too young to be calorie counting. I have showed him a legit serving size. He loves Doritos. I'm not gonna tell him not to
Mm-hmm.
eat that
Yeah.
because it's all in moderation.
Mm.
But I think when you get the big bag, you think what your brain thinks it should be a serving size versus what actually is a serving size is a little bit eye-opening.
Yes. You go
But,
half a bag before you start feeling full.
exactly. And other conversations him and I have had where he said, "Mom, I think I'm only gonna eat junk food on holidays.
Mm.
What do you think about that plan?" I said, "That's a
Wow.
terrible idea." He's like,
Mm.
"What? Why is that a terrible idea?" I said, "Bud, you see me, I eat treats here and there. That's not most of my day." I said, "But if you save that food that you like for one day, you are going to go off the rails and lose control because of that scarcity. Eating and eating and eating because
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get it for another whole year." I said, "You can still have things. It's just that can't be the bulk of your day because your body needs certain nutrients. I mean, if you want to be stronger, you have to eat more
Mm-hmm.
protein. You
Mm-hmm.
need fiber to help your body. So, if
Uh-oh, Jody froze on us. We'll correct that here in a bit. She'll be back. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. You were talking about him not, just eating junk food on the holidays. And
Yes.
you were,
I told him that I used to make a pumpkin pie every year before Thanksgiving, and he's like, "Yeah," and I usually do that a couple times. He's like, "Yeah." Ironically, right now, there's a pumpkin pie in my oven. Yeah.
There you go.
But I told him the reason I started doing that is because I used to make the mistake of saving things I really enjoyed for one day a
Mm,
year. And then when I let myself enjoy those things, I would go completely off the rails. I would eat way past the point of, you know, I felt like I was busting out the seams, and I kept going because I knew that, it's going to be a whole year before I get to have this again. I said, that's not a good mentality to
mm,
have at all. You can't have, cookies and cake all day, every day, because then your body won't get what it needs, like the
mhm.
protein to grow muscle. It won't get the nutrients, the fiber that your body needs to function well. But there are no good or bad foods. You just have to, be choosy. You can't just have it all day, every day.
Hey, a good example of that is a couple of Tuesdays ago, I was at a workers' meeting. I'm not a big chocolate fan, but once I start eating Hershey Kisses, I can't stop. But on top of that, these were Hershey Kisses with almonds inside, and I love almonds. Man, so I was
Mm-hmm.
going to everybody, every worker's tables and taking their Hershey Kisses. I literally must have eaten anywhere between 30 to 50 of them. They're small. I was just popping them in my mouth. I felt like I love Lucy with my cheeks off. But you can do that because it's what you do the 90% of the time or the 80% of the time. I'm
Mhm.
very disciplined with what I eat, and fluctuation in weight, not that that would make you fluctuate necessarily, but a pound or two here, or even as much as 5 pounds, no big deal. As long as you're being consistent with getting, as you said, the proper nutrition, the veggies, the protein, the fiber, you can do that as opposed to having what you said, that scarcity mentality that, oh, I can only have it on the holidays. Well, if you do that for too long, you'll get frustrated and then you'll make everything a holiday. You'll be celebrating, Martin Luther King, President Day, every holiday known to man just to get some treats. But you shouldn't do that. Just be responsible.
Mhm.
I eat popcorn often just because I like it. Matter of fact, I had it for lunch today with beans. Just fit it into your caloric allowance and you shouldn't have an issue with it.
On the holidays, there's always going to be that food that you
Hmm.
have no choice. You're only gonna get it once a year because, your Aunt Mary makes a
Yeah.
special recipe. But don't save 98% of the holiday menu as I'm only letting myself have this one day a year, especially if it's something simple that you could have. He wasn't talking particularly about the holiday type foods. He's
Yeah.
talking about all junk food in
Oh,
general.
yeah.
You're just gonna go off the rails.
I'm curious, going back to his workout. So he's using Fitbod. Is he working out
Mhm.
at home or using a school gym or going with you to your gym?
Most of the time, it is Fitbod at our house with our adjustable dumbbells and our
Mhm.
bench. We have TRX. I haven't seen anything pop up for him yet.
Mhm.
Once in a while, I'll take him to the YMCA Oscar Lasco into the room I normally coach in
Mhm.
after a class because he's very shy and
Okay.
very quiet. The thought of going into a regular commercial gym scares.
Mhm.
So at least mom has access to this big private room. Or with CrossFit, I've been helping with CrossFit
Mhm.
sparingly
Mhm.
with coaching, and I've brought him there after the last class so that he had that privacy so he could feel more confident. But even with Fitbod, I mean, you and I know that
Mhm.
one of the things we love about it is it shows you how to do the movement.
Yes.
Well, despite that, he needed extra hand holding in the beginning.
Mhm.
So even though Fitbod would show him what to do, he
Mhm.
would want mom to demonstrate every single movement on there.
So you got to
And
work out on top of a workout.
and it's usually when I'm cooking dinner. So I'm like going back and forth, and I'm just like, "Okay," but now he rarely asks unless it is something new for him,
Mhm.
but I had to laugh when he started working out. He started doing elevated hip thrusts where he
Okay,
had
yeah.
his feet on the
On the
bench,
bench, yep.
and he's, like, lifting his hips up, and he goes, "Mom, this is not an exercise for boys." I said, "Bud, there are no boy
Mm.
exercises. Your genitals don't determine you have a butt, I have a butt. You need to
Yes.
work it."
I was pleasantly surprised that your glute muscles are the most important in jumping. then your quad, then your hamstrings, then your calves, then your tibialis. I'm a public speaker. I've spoken in front of 4,000 people, and I don't like going to a public gym and working out. I work out at home, so it has nothing to do with his age. Power to him. Get yourself a home gym. Tell mom to
Yep.
get you gym equipment for Christmas.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I swear if he walks off with my adjustable dumbbells one more time, like don't-
Mm,
I rarely work out at home, so it's fine. I'll
mhm.
look and they're completely gone and in his room somewhere. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie. I
Yeah.
do love this. My favorite part about it is him and I have gotten so close the last few months
Mhm.
because this is something he's interested in that he knows his mother knows a lot about. He's
Mhm.
very close with my husband. Him and my husband have more in common, and this
Mhm.
has given us something to
Bond,
together
yeah.
with. To the point that I got annoyed with him a couple weeks ago about something completely non-related, and his attitude was kinda crappy. I mean, he's a teenager, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Eh, he apologized and he goes, "Mom, I'm really sorry for how I talked to you. Things have been good, really good between the 2 of us, and I don't
Mm,
want it to get to
mhm.
a bad point. I really
You
enjoy talking with you." And I'm just
you
like,
I
"What?"
know, where did that come from? Remember the old meme or bumper sticker, ask a teenager now while they know everything, right? I'm actually looking forward to when my oldest gets more consistent in the gym because she's very competitive. Not that
Mhm,
she'll compete against me, but I know she wants to get stronger. She's in our church in this thing called Pathfinders, which is like girls club, nothing like boys and girl scouts. And so they
mhm.
have to do fitness things and running. She was proud that she came in second. One boy beat her, but she beat all the other boys. She's very
Wow.
competitive, and she has noticed and things. And I could see eventually she'll be more consistent. Something I notice is she's like the thought of gymnastics, so she likes doing splits and stuff. But she's noticing that she's getting tighter. I told her it starts young. If you want to stay doing the split, you have to stay at it because it's quickly. She's only
Mhm.
10 years old. She's already losing some flexibility. And that's why I'm glad that your son is taking it serious, consistent. But then again, you know, from age 10 to 5, I mean, that could be 20 years of maturity, noting in kids, because they mature slowly and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Now, that being said, maybe ask mom for Christmas gifts. Let's talk about that. What are some items, right? Because people are around Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. What are some
Mhm.
gifts for somebody who's working out that you think they may want, either as stocking stuffers or full blown gifts?
I think if it were me, I would lean towards gift cards. I know
Mm,
that might seem impersonal, but, like, I
no,
feel
I'm
like
power
when
to it. No, go
yeah,
ahead.
because I know, like, somebody might say, "Oh, maybe I'll get them workout clothes," unless you are absolutely confident. Some people are very particular about their brand. 98% of my workout clothes are from the brand Constantly Varied Gear, fit right, have real pockets. If you're not aware about it, squat proof. Do you know how many times, like, I in the beginning when I was getting used to workout clothing, I would try on leggings, go to my husband, bend over and say, "Can you see through my
Oh,
leggings?"
yes.
But I
I could
don't have
understand.
because you don't want any surprises where, like, everybody can see what color underwear you're wearing. There are some people who are very particular with their brand, and though I love that brand, Constantly, they
Mhm.
might be particular with another brand. So maybe check their social media or ask them, say, "Oh, so and so is getting into working out, wants to know what kind of clothes I should look at," and go from there. But I am a big fan of being able to pick out my own stuff.
I've been married, happily married for 15 years, and the only thing I dare buy my wife are sneakers because she's so particular with what she wears, whether it's pants or
Mhm.
shirts. But when it comes to workout sneakers and stuff, I bought her different pairs that she's enjoyed, No Bulls, some Hokas, and now she's
Mhm.
wearing some Skechers and things like that. So she trusts me with that. And that's usually what I ended up getting her for her birthday. Some variation of sneakers and stuff. I did get her some dress shoes that she liked as well. So the shoe department, I'm good. Everything else, I'm not even gonna
See,
try.
I would love if my husband bought me a pair of Nobles. I
Yeah.
love them for CrossFit,
Yes.
but he would probably be terrified to try to figure out my size, what color or pattern.
All right. So go ahead. What's the second item you have?
Second item that I would love would be a gift certificate to a massage place. In Chester County, Pennsylvania, there is
Hmm.
a fantastic place. It's my go-to. It's called Optimal Massage and Movement. The owners, Kim and Michael Wolf, are incredible human beings, but they also have a yoga portion to their studio.
Hmm.
I haven't actually taken a class there, but I have taken yoga classes with Kim, and she's fantastic. So just to be able to do something for myself, for my body, because I work my muscles and my body really hard constantly. The gift of being able to get that self-care is incredible. So if you're local to me, that is a fantastic place. If you're not local to me, do your research. See if you can find a non-chain business, maybe a local
Hmm.
business that has
Masseuse.
a fantastic reputation. Not masseuse. They get offended when you say masseuse
Oh,
because
really?
usually
Oh,
that's usually an
ah,
illegal place with a back
okay.
room.
My
So
bad.
that
No, but it's funny you mentioned that because that got me thinking right now. Something my wife and I have been wanting to do since we moved to Oklahoma is we both want to get a DEXA scan together. And so if you
Mhm,
have somebody into fitness who wants to perhaps reach a goal, whether bikini body or whatever they want to do, or they just want to start tracking, find a good local DEXA scan. You could do it as a couple or individually. What I like about DEXA
mhm,
places, because I used to do it regularly in Houston, is that you can buy them in advance, 4 sets, and you get a discount and they don't expire. They don't tend to expire. So you can go whenever. And my wife and I want to do it. We just need to find one nearby because now we're definitely past the age of breastfeeding and all that. And I'm going to be building my gym here. And once that rolls around, we want to be able to, just see where we're at again and take it from there
mm.
because you can't improve what you can't measure.
Well, I love that idea. I would love to
Mm.
have a DEXA, but I would only buy that if you're 100% sure that they're not gonna take offense to it. It's
Oh, yeah,
because if
yeah.
it's the wrong person,
And my
it might
wife,
be
I
fine.
want to do it. So I was thinking of her. Now that I'm buying her, who's
I would love it.
my main fitness friend. Now that I'm gonna say something that I hope my friend never hears. We were playing, right? We're in a WhatsApp group with everybody who plays basketball, and he removed himself from the group because he feels like he's not in good shape or strong enough or fit enough to wake up that early and make that commitment. And he's younger than I am. He's in his mid 40s. I told him, well, isn't that telling you something? You don't want to keep getting older and stop doing things simply because you feel you're not in shape. To the
Mhm,
audience who may be listening, do whatever it takes to stay in shape as you get older. I think the worst thing for me, and I'm pretty sure for you, was to lose independence at an early age. Like, I
mhm.
couldn't imagine having to be dependent on somebody else to move. I want to be playing basketball with these youngsters till I'm in my 80s. For the first time, there was somebody at the basketball court older than me. So he happens to be 52. I'm 52. So I was like, all right, what month? And I'm thinking, well, I'm March. Their birthday is like January 1st. So hard to beat that. Stay in shape. If you need motivation, ask for a Christmas gift. What else
Yeah.
you got?
So, because I love to cook, there are so many creators out there that demolish the reputation that gym rats only eat broccoli, rice, and beef
Mm,
or chicken. There's mindset that that's all we have to eat to be in shape. I promise you, it's very rare if I'm eating rice, beef, and broccoli. It's
yeah, no.
usually something more exciting than
Mm,
that. There are a lot of creators out there. Zach Cohen happens to be one of my favorite ones, and he has a Patreon group. I
mm,
want to say it's $50 a year, but he's a registered dietitian, so he takes recipes using regular ingredients that you can get at Walmart. They're
mhm,
inexpensive. And he shows you how to make a meal that is macro friendly, that's also budget friendly as well.
mhm,
And he's trying to show others that you can still have food that tastes great and still see progress on your weight loss journey.
Mhm.
So I would if you know a foodie and they're on a fitness journey, or even if they're not on a fitness journey, they
Mhm.
love cooking, do your research. See if there's a creator out there like on Patreon or an e-cookbook so that they can learn to cook something exciting that doesn't feel like just another salad or just another
Yeah.
beef broccoli. Right.
We should do an episode because in January, late January, I'm going to be doing something called Diabetes Undone at my
Mhm.
church. It's a program where you pop in a DVD, the expert lectures on it, and then me and my wife, being a doctor, we're going to facilitate the conversation. What we're going to add to it is something that I did in my previous stop was how to cook 8 meals in under 30 minutes that are high on protein, high on fiber. And so you and I should
Ooh,
do an episode like that. They're simple meals.
yeah.
They're not going to be anything gourmet per se. But sometimes, a lot of times, we're short on time. Obviously, I'm
Mhm.
coming from a plant base, but if I remember correctly, you could whip up a steak in less than 30 minutes. So you can add that for
Yep.
those who are meat based. And we ought to do an episode like that. I'll share 3 meals, you share three, and we can talk about it. Because
Yeah.
you're right. It has to be quick, easy, and convenient. Don't be asking for some gourmet spice from Japan that takes 5 weeks to get here.
It reminds me of Barefoot Contessa where she'll have, like, a recipe with a crazy ingredient that you can only find at some bougie store. It looks fantastic on TV, but it's not worth the effort, and it's not sustainable or realistic for the average person.
Yeah, and I like what you said about sometimes we underestimate Patreons, and that's helping a small
Mhm.
business. And so something like that is good.
I struggle with clutter at my house,
Hmm.
so the last thing I want is to get inundated with more stuff and
Hmm.
then feel guilty if I don't really want it, but then I feel like if this person ever comes to my house and doesn't see that I don't want that stress of having to
Hmm.
keep more stuff
Yeah.
that doesn't bring me joy, happiness, or, you know, helps me along my way somehow,
Hmm.
somewhere. And I don't think anybody really wants to give a gift that isn't really needed. I love the idea of either an experience gift or something electronic that's not gonna take up space.
We have a motto in our house, especially since we moved: when in doubt, throw it out. Somebody in my church is moving in with a sibling of theirs and they need furniture. And we got some furniture in our storage. And we're like, come take it. Just come get it. We're paying money in the storage, like $200 a month. So if they could just take it off our hands and reduce it to one storage center, it'd be best. Any final
Mhm.
ideas for gifts? I like your ideas of getting a massage or the Patreon thing. Any last idea? Something that's a stocking stuffer, perhaps.
One year, my husband had gotten me these purple barbell clips. I still
Mhm.
use them all the time.
Okay.
I kinda hope he gets me hot pink ones to
Mm.
change it up a little bit. It's better than the wire ones that you have to squeeze. I like
Mhm.
having something girly at a gym that's mostly dudes, so it makes me feel pretty and like a barbell princess.
You can lift weights as a woman and still be feminine? The
I
shocker.
know.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Anything else as we wrap up this episode?
I think that is going to be it for me, but if
Mm.
you do have teenagers and they start asking questions about health and fitness and you need help, just send Gio and I a message and we'll try our best. We're not mental health
Mm.
professionals, we're not registered dietitians, but we'd be happy to listen and offer advice. I want to make sure he has a healthy relationship when it comes to fitness and food. I don't want him to deal with some of the struggles I have when I was his age. So, we're here to listen. We're here to help any way we possibly can.
On that note, spoken from the heart of a mother who wants to see her children succeed. Likewise, here as a father, can't wait till my children are more consistent. But you never want to rush them along because ultimately they will do what you do. Just give them time
Mhm.
and be healthy. Happy holidays and God bless. All right.